There's a formula to it. A very simple formula. Everybody's a suspect. It's all a statement on modern society. Ooh, ain't modern society awful?
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
Welcome back to the Cabin Night Podcast. I'm Jake.
I'm James.
And I'm Rob.
And today we're going to be discussing that age-old, and by age-old I mean 1988, debate as to whether Die Hard is a Christmas film. We've got three gents here who are very much on one side of the camp, whilst I am on the other. But before we get into that, I'd like to invite you to grab a drink, make yourselves comfortable, and enjoy the bumming that I'm about to get. So, again, before we go any further, we'll just say we've got John with us again. John's been on a few podcasts with us now. He's usually our resident quizmaster.
I don't know, it's a Die Hard quiz, and every question is Die Hard. Every answer is yes.
Is this going to be like that? What is it? Not One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Clockwork Orange, where I'm going to get seeing pictures of like Bruce Willis dressed up as Santa Claus until I accept.
As long as it's just Bruce Willis dressed as Santa Claus and not just with anything else, then yes, it's fine.
So, yeah, it's not.
It is.
But there's several, there's several
Oh, right, okay, come on, let's go.
different ways we can go about it. So, before we get into bones of this one, Rob, why is it a Christmas film?
It's set at a Christmas party.
Mm-hmm. Could it not been set at a July the 4th party?
Yeah, but it's not.
It's not.
But would that have made it an Independence Day film if it was set at July the 4th?
No, because Independence Day films don't exist.
They do. There's one called Independence Day.
But I'm saying there's a category of films. There's no such thing as Independence Day films. There are films that feature Independence Day, and aliens and Will Smith, but there's no such thing as Independence Day films.
No, but there are Christmas films, and Die Hard is number one of them.
James,
Yes.
I understand you're being.
I was thinking of being nice and play.
And he changed his mind.
Yeah, I was going to play devil's advocate. But no, I think the argument is, it's set at Christmas, and you're right, it doesn't have to be set at Christmas. But then again, what Christmas film does have to be set at Christmas? You know, Love Actually is a very popular Christmas film, but doesn't really need to be set at Christmas.
No, but I would say some Christmas films absolutely do have to be set at Christmas.
I would say only if they include Santa Claus. That has to be set at Christmas.
Yeah, so such as like Christmas Chronicles. It's called the Christmas Chronicles. If it then started telling you a story about a business company,
a tower block.
terrorist in a tower block.
What the fuck's Christmas Chronicles?
The one with
Kurt Russell.
Kurt Russell.
Not seen it, but I plan on
And
doing
they've done
it.
a second one, haven't they?
Russell's in it.
First one's all right. The second one,
I've never heard of
On
this film.
Netflix.
Kurt Russell is in it. That's
Kurt
all
Russell
I
as
need.
Santa Claus.
Oh, I've never heard of this film.
It's quite nice. It's
Oh.
it's charming, and it is a Christmas film. But that as you know, it wouldn't make sense as not being called a Christmas film.
No, true. But I would argue there's enough things in it to warrant it being called a Christmas film, such as the general... Okay, while an action film, the general tone of it is in keeping with Christmas.
On balance.
The opening song is a Christmas song.
Yep.
On balance,
And it ends with Let It Snow.
Yeah.
On balance, though, what is there more of in the film, Christmas or action?
It's Christmassy action.
John,
Yes, mate.
talk to us. Tell me why I'm wrong.
Well, I mean, Die Hard, I don't have a favourite film because I like that many films. I can't name a favourite film, but it is definitely in my top 5. Die Hard and the sequel, which is also a Christmas film. James touched on my main argument. It ends with Let It Snow, which I think everybody would agree is a Christmas song.
Mm-hmm.
There's lots that point to it being a Christmas film in my eyes. Set on Christmas Eve, like Rob says, Christmas Party.
Mm-hmm.
You got Christmas in Hollis by Run DMC. First song that's heard.
He uses Christmas sellotape to take the gun to
Yeah.
his back at the end.
Well, it would have to be.
Ellis
set at
snorts
Christmas.
coke, which is snow.
Yeah. We're not talking about Motley Crue here. There's too much snow on the roof.
I would always. I mean, I would watch it. I'd watch it any day of the year, but it always gets a viewing in our house, and the sequel in December.
Yeah.
It has got a bearded man saying ho 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 as well, so you know.
It's not Father Christmas, though. Is
No,
it?
he's a bearded man going ho
Oh.
ho So I'd
And
argue.
he's also appeared in Love Actually, which is also a Christmas film. So,
There you go, there's no
Also a Christmas film, so you're admitting that Die Hard is a Christmas film.
so my my
End it now. That's it done. Game over. Jake's lost.
I think there's several approaches to this debate, and there's
And they're all wrong.
No, there's your approach and there's my approach. So
And
they're
yours
not
is
they're not all wrong. Yours is, in your opinion, right. You're wrong. Because you're ginger and you have no soul. But it's getting personal now. Shall we fight? Let's go outside and fight. No, there's several approaches. No matter what side of the debate you're on, there's several approaches to this, and there is the everyday sat around in a cabin getting drunk and talking about it. But then there's this is basically the main body of my argument.
The only body of your argument.
No, I've got more. I've also got some mitigation as well. Some where I'm willing to back down and say actually, but according to, and I always get this wrong because it sounds like I've made it up, because when I was having this argument previously, I said the Hollywood Film Association, which sounds like bullshit. It's actually the Hollywood Motion Picture of America Association.
Again, still sounds made up.
It's not.
MPAA.
That's the MPAA thing, yeah.
Google it. They deal with ratings as films, not just classification in terms of genre and what have you. They recognise 11 genres, none of which are Christmas. Action is one of them, but Christmas is not. Christmas is only attached to a parent genre of one of those 11. So you could have a Western Christmas film, or you could have an action Christmas film, or you could have a comedy Christmas or a romance Christmas, because these are existing.
But by that logic, there's some films that you would only watch at Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
That, like for example, a version of A Christmas Carol, A Wonderful Life, Scrooged, all these things. But they are Christmas films. You would only watch them at Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't matter that they are. Christmas becomes that overriding genre.
That also
It done.
backs up Jake's argument slightly, whereas Die Hard, you can watch any day.
You can, but it's still a Christmas film.
No. I agree. It is a Christmas film. I'm just saying it that to back up Jake's
So if
argument.
you're saying it's a Christmas action film,
No, I'm saying it's an action Christmas film.
you are
Action,
still admitting it's a Christmas film.
And that's fair enough. And that's what I'm saying in terms of mitigation. I will. No, it's an action film set at Christmas. That's as low as I can go on this. That's my final offer. It's an action film set at Christmas. It has
film that
Christmas
has a lot of
elements.
action in it.
I'm not denying the Christmas. I'm not a Christmas denier. Christmas definitely happens every year, but only once. Or 3 times in our case, but that's a different story. So yeah, at best it is a action film set at Christmas, based on the only official classifications we have to go on, the official rules that we can follow in terms of what's been set by the MPA or whatever they're called.
The APA.
The APA.
For Income Bradshaw.
It is an action film. First and foremost, side by side, the two elements, one is definitely lesser, in my opinion. And not even in my opinion, it is. There is less Christmas than there is action.
I'd argue there's less, but not by much. Because Christmas is a constant throughout the film. There's not always action.
But there's still more action. There's a fucking explosion and people get shot with machine
Yeah, but
guns.
in the back of those shots, there are Christmas trees and things that are making it a Christmas film.
There's billions.
Did you know in an original cut, Lost to Time, when he shoots the glass, they weren't glass, that was actually baubles, and he was running across shattered baubles to make it more Christmassy. And they thought, no, people are going to complain, it's too Christmassy, so we'll scale it back a bit.
There is still more action. That can't be denied. Even if you say not by much, still side by side, one is more than the other. Now, I mentioned mitigation, so I will talk about mitigation now. I also believe that Christmas means different things to different people, and if you, for example, you'll always watch it, John, at Christmas, as will you, Rob, and probably you, James. I don't. I watch it whenever I feel like watching it. That makes it a Christmas film, because if it's something that gets you in the festive spirit, if it's something that you...
It's when Bailey's comes out.
What's that?
It's when Bailey's comes out.
When the Baileys come out, what the fuck happened to your house? Oh, the Baileys are here, it's Christmas!
Bailey's at matching pyjamas. Yeah, because to expand on that, my mum considers Wizard of Oz and Grease Christmas films, because they're always on
at Christmas.
They're always on at Christmas.
Same reason that The Great Escape is an Easter film.
Same reason that Die Hard's always on at Christmas.
Yeah.
But like anything in this modern age we live in of social media, it's not possible to be militantly for or against this particular argument. The shades of grey.
I've got an argument that counteracts that.
Got him. Hit me with it.
So this is an article based on whether Die Hard is or isn't a Christmas film.
Who research again. Fucking hell.
Who authored this and what website was it posted on?
It was posted on...
It's on Lad Bible.
When he's finished, I do have something that's going to back up your argument.
It's
very civil.
AA Film Archive, whatever that's from. The creative argument is based on the intentions of those involved making the film, as both director John McTiernan and Steve D'Souza, the writer, have confirmed that Die Hard is a Christmas film. So they intended it when it was written to be
not so in Steve D'Souza's case. So you read the interview with Steve D'Souza when he, or rather than many interviews, but on the first occasion he was asked when it became this internet phenomenon of is it a Christmas film or not. Steve D'Souza actually said, "Shit, I always get asked this question. Fuck it, yeah, it is." So it wasn't written with the intention of it being.
But he's admitted it, and he wrote it.
But now there's some subscribers to we get into written theory now, the theory of death of the author. So in a very, very bad nutshell, that basically when someone releases book, film, music, whatever to the world, it then becomes public property. It then becomes everyone's thing. So the fact that everyone has agreed, well, most people has agreed it is a Christmas film, it has become a Christmas film because the author no longer has power over this. It's like the internal debate of the end of Blade Runner. You know, is he a replicant? Is he not? Am I looking at three people who haven't seen Blade Runner?
No, I haven't seen Blade Runner.
Right, I need to think of a better analogy than the one we've all seen.
I do know what you're on about at the end of it.
Schrodinger's cat. What? Schrodinger's cat.
No.
I don't know. I've not seen it.
Well, the whole point, it's an ambiguous ending.
The spinny top in...
Inception, okay.
Inception.
Yes, right, okay. So, but I don't know what the universal consensus is for the end of that. I think...
It falters just before it turns to black.
I think he's in the real world again at the end of Inception. But the whole point of Death of the Author is that that's now up to the public to decide what has become. So what is the ending?
I would say that's only in an ambiguous sense. So that's only if it's purposely been left for you to decide. I don't think that is.
But they're the examples I can think of. But it's like... No, I was going to get too political because I'll get into Harry Potter and J.K. Rowling and all that. So let's leave. So I'll leave that on there. What were you going to say, John? You had
I've got something that might back up a bit of James's argument, and it also leads on from what Rob's just said. There's one major person in this who agrees that it's not
Bruce Willis.
a Christmas film, which is Bruce Willis himself, who was asked very recently, "Is it a Christmas film?" He said, "No, it's not." Which I thought, what does he know about it? But
shooting all those Russians, he doesn't know Germans. He doesn't know what he's doing.
It does back up. Does back up Jake's argument. I've got another one to chuck into the mix then, and it's not as easy one like Die Hard 2. In fact, I've got two others to chuck in. One, I'd be interested to get your three's views on, and the other one I'd be really interested to get your views on. First one, is Gremlins a Christmas movie?
I would say in exactly the same vein as Die Hard, it's not, unless it invokes those feelings, those festive feelings in you, in which case anything's effective.
It's something I could watch any point in the year, but it always gets watched in December in my house. There's a lot of Christmas around it.
I think there's more in Die Hard around Christmas.
Really?
Than there is in...
It's interesting you mention like the levels.
You actually see Santa Claus in Gremlins.
The levels of Christmas, like the Christmas content. So one of the other arguments for it being a Christmas film is Christmas completely necessary to the plot? To which the argument is...
In Gremlins, yes. Because he's a present.
He's a present.
Gizmo's a Christmas present.
So in that sense, then, I would probably agree.
And it's Nakatomi Christmas party. They won't be having a Christmas party in August, so it makes sense for him to be...
but, and this is a stat...
And Slade were writing a song or not?
He wouldn't be there.
He
wouldn't have been there if it wasn't for that Christmas party.
This is a stat I pulled off the internet just today, so we know it's true.
From Lad Bible.
Lad Bible, you can't go wrong. Forget what I said about Lad Bible. No, and that's that July the 4th parties, the majority of which, something ridiculous like 74 or 72%, take place in gardens or in booked outdoor venues. The other whatever many percent's left, there's obviously a misc percentage, which is like in people's houses or whatever. But the other, when it comes to Christmas, July the 4th parties take place in the town, in town blocks, in their places of business. In places of
Christmas,
business.
July the 4th. What?
July the 4th, Independence Day parties. Independence.
No, but you said July the 4th Christmas parties.
Well, fuck the Christmas.
That's what I was going
Basically, what I'm saying is that there is
confused
something like 20% of July the 4th parties in America take place in the place of business that those people work. In places of
But it's
business.
set at Christmas.
But it could easily have 20. Nakatomi Plaza could be big on because it's a gent of Asian descent, or you know, is a second or third generation American but of Chinese or Japanese descent. He might be pretty big on American values. A lot of people that came here and are like sort of first and second generation
He makes
were.
some comment about it, doesn't he?
But he said, but Christmas is all about a time for families, which is why John flies out, because they want because he wants the family.
You're drastically underestimating the importance of July the 4th in America.
I would argue it's not as family thing.
It's more of a. Well, it's not more. It's as much of a family thing.
I know in America Thanksgiving's probably more of a family
Aliens,
thing.
isn't it? Here's another one for you.
Alright.
And I love this one. This is a debate. I mean, it still gets whatever. This is a film you can watch anytime. I know what your answer on this would be. What's James and Rob's? Is Lethal Weapon a Christmas film?
Ooh.
Because again, I'll watch that any day you want. I'll watch Riggs and Murtaugh, but it always gets watched in December in our house as a matter of course.
It's not one of the ones that's always on at Christmas.
Yeah.
Die Hard is usually always on telly at some point at Christmas.
I feel like Lethal Weapon is one of those films you watch and go, oh yeah, it's set at Christmas. I feel like rather than being a Christmas film.
Because it's not filled with snow.
Yeah.
But there's a shootout in a Christmas tree
Lots.
lot, and by your own admission, it starts with a Christmas song.
It does.
I'm not saying the logic makes sense, I'm just saying.
I'm still wrong.
And
But
at the
yes,
end,
and it's Christmas
the
film.
film.
There you go, that's it.
But yeah, I think the point is that now it's just Die Hard has become. Everyone says it is a Christmas film.
Not everyone.
No, well,
Bruce Willis done.
my sister would agree with Jake as well. She's vehement on the bloody subject.
Well, that's it. It's become this dividing line now, almost
There's this other
ironically.
interesting element and it put me onto it when you were talking about the death of the author. But Steve D'Souza only wrote the screenplay. He didn't write the novel. Now the
Robert
novel
Thorpe.
is drastically different
Well,
in
yeah.
every sense. He's an old, aging, retired
He was meant to be
alcoholic.
Frank. He was meant to be Frank Sinatra.
I was going to chuck that bit of trivia in, James. You just took it off me.
Sorry, Joel.
No, mate, no.
Who was going to play him originally in that
Yeah.
sort of screenplay version?
Well, the
Didn't you write it first?
Sinatra starred in the first one, which was the detective, I believe.
Yes, I think so. Yeah.
So they were contractually bound to offer the role to Frank Sinatra, who was obviously way too old to do all that shit. And he said no. But they offered it to everybody in the grandmother, didn't they? Before they got to Bruce Willis. I mean, it went for everybody. Sly, Schwarzenegger.
Had he only done Moonlighting at that point?
Yeah, he still doing it. I think they got him because basically he was the only person left who
But
they
they
could
paid him a
afford.
mint, didn't they? They paid him an absolute
Studio
mint.
were dead against it as well, weren't
Yeah,
they?
I think it was something stupid like 10 million or something. It was something crazy they
You're
paid
gonna
him.
put this comedy actor in,
Yeah.
this comedy sitcom guy in an action film.
Well, that's one of the great things about it. I mean, back then, your action heroes were Stallone. They were Arnie. They were big muscle bound.
Well, I think he was meant to be a New York cop.
Everyman,
Yeah, he
yeah,
wasn't. He
everyman.
wasn't meant to
That
be
begs
this
the
muscle.
question then, if it's a Christmas film, why were the studio execs so against casting a family man? A guy who appears in sitcoms with his family, probably at Christmas in some episodes. Why were they against him? It's like they've seen him do Christmas before. Surely he would be perfect for their Christmas film.
You don't want people to be typecast now, do you?
I mean, that's exactly what they wanted in the 80s.
But no,
I'm coming out of this way too nice, guys. Come on.
No, it's all. And well, I say we move on to Die Hard 2 because we're looking at the Christmas elements. For me, I could sit here for the next 20 minutes and list you all the Christmas things that's in Die Hard 1, and I'd set the same for Die Hard 2.
Yeah.
And even in that one, there's a shitload of snow, which is Christmassy. And again, ends with Let It Snow. You've got, I got a freaking Santa Claus coming in here with a freaking goddamn reindeer. You got all that going on.
But
Again,
going back
what
to
What the
that, where's
hell?
it set?
It's Christmas!
airport, isn't
Last
it?
line it films.
It's what?
It's on an airport and on planes. It's his wife's
I
flying
know it's
home.
set in airport, but where's the airport?
Dulles, Washington.
So Dulles, Washington is known for having snow quite a bit year round.
So's the North Pole. So you have a Christmas film set up there. It doesn't mean it's just
Most films set in North Pole are Christmas films.
Yeah, I was saying. So the fact that it gets a lot of snow does not discount it.
I'm just going back to the argument of whether it's
John's got something.
necessary.
I've just thought of something, and it kind of skewers our argument a bit, but then brings up the other one slightly more. So, during the Christmas quiz, it was mentioned that in every bloody Christmas film is that irritating kid going, "Look, Daddy, every time a bell rings, an angel gets its wings." Doesn't crop up in Die Hard 1 or Die Hard 2, but does crop up in Lethal Weapon. At
They're
which
also
point,
never watching
Mr.
a
Joshua
telly.
says,
So there's never any
"Goddamn
time.
Christmas!"
It could do, because they never watch a telly. There's never a point when it could crop
I'm
up.
just wondering if you can,
Are there,
just in order to do like an experiment as such, if you could get
you're wrong. You're wrong.
Pardon me.
Die Hard 2. What's his name? The bad guy's name again?
Oh,
God.
Colonel
Stewart.
Colonel Stewart.
Colonel Stewart is watching a TV at
He
the
is.
beginning when he's doing his ninja
Yoga.
moves in
Yeah.
Nib, and then in the first one, and this is really cutting it fine.
Oh, it's the security guys watching the basketball, aren't
The
they?
security's watching basketball. But the
And
one
they
I
wa-
was thinking of is right. When they find out who McLean is,
Yeah, 'cause they're
Lucy
watching the local
McLean
news, yeah.
is on TV,
Mm.
and Hans Gruber sees that.
So yes,
Yeah,
they
but I
do-
mean, they're not watching.
No, no
there's
bullshit.
there's a purpose for that telly being on what it's on. They're not watching a film, which was the reason why it wouldn't.
Oh, I'm
crop
just
up.
here to make things muddier.
I'm just wondering if, in terms of like an experiment, you could count the references or visual references as well as spoken references to Christmas, and you land on a number. Say that number is 42. Why not?
always a good number.
Always a good number. And then you pick from any genre, any time of year, another film with 42 references to something else. Just by way of comparison, would that then make it, because it has 40, say Halloween has 42 references to, I don't know, babysitters, does that make it a babysitting film? And that's a bad example.
It is because
there's
it
no
was
such
originally
thing.
called the Babysitter Murders, so
Yeah,
you
but
know.
also there's no such thing as babysitter as a genre.
No.
But
There is, but on a very specific.
Oh, back to porno.
not that you would know about anything. So we know what James has said. No, okay, so something that, say, has 42 references to it, to the 4th of July then, or 42 references to cowboys, does that make it a Western? If it's set in the future but they're talking about cowboys and Native Americans, does that make it a Western film?
Yes, because Serenity is a space western.
Serenity ship.
You're going to get punched. You're going to get punched in the dick in a second.
No, because a Western is more than the mention of cowboys,
Yeah,
to me.
you're oversimplifying it.
Well, I think Christmas is more than the mention of Christmas.
But we're not talking about the mention of Christmas, we're talking about all the different factors that
They're
appeal.
both set on
No, but
Christmas
what?
Eve.
Okay, so
Yeah.
what if in this futuristic space film, everybody goes to a fancy dress party dressed up as cowboys and Native Americans, and then they also reference it, but then they also listen to a lot of old-timey Western music.
This is one hell of a movie I want to see.
It exists. It's called Serenity.
Yeah, I say watch Serenity.
But is that a sci-fi film or is that a Western?
It's like a western film.
Okay, so that means Die Hard is an action Christmas film.
It's still a Christmas
It's a
film.
Christmas film.
And that's fine, but
It's the point we're saying. It's a Christmas
it's
film.
under, first and foremost,
Oh, it's
an
one
action
hell of an action film.
It's
It's
under
up there.
the umbrella of. First and foremost, when you look at that film, you think action, because that's what happens more.
Okay, right. Okay, here's another film that might muddy the waters, but I'm interested to know. Nightmare Before Christmas. Is that a Christmas film or is it a Halloween film?
I'd say Halloween films aren't a genre. Is it a horror film?
It's a musical.
Well done, John.
Fuck's sake.
Fuck the musicals.
He's woke up.
But okay, right. So
Always shown at Christmas though, never shown at Halloween.
it's normally shown at Christmas, but my wife Hayley, she says it's a Halloween film because it's set in Halloween Town, and most of it is set during Halloween period, more October, November.
But there's also,
But it's all the lead up to Christmas.
Which is why I say it's
Is
Christmas.
Batman Returns a Christmas film?
Yes, it's fucking brilliant.
A lot to be said about a film, like so when I mentioned earlier about the different approaches to the argument, it's about the film's defining message as well. Like what is the film? Not a moral as such, because I think films like Die Hard don't particularly have a moral as such.
And Night Before Christmas says you'll always be a monster. Don't fucking try and change.
Well, no, the idea is that even monsters can take part in Christmas cheer, and
no, he fucks it up. They go, no, don't do that again.
But not
I've never actually successfully got
not
to
for
the end
want
of
to
that
trying.
I have far too many times.
Not for want to trying though. So there's an underlying message in Nightmare Before Christmas, which is about the importance of Christmas.
All I'm going to say about Night Before Christmas has got a really weird sequel in Nightmare on Elm Street. I didn't get the connection at all. I preferred the sequel, but I didn't get the connection.
There's the argument against the fact, all right, it's set on Halloween, the start of it, but then it moves on to different times of the year, so it's not set at Halloween, so it's not a horror Halloween film. It's a Christmas.
I know I say it's a Christmas film, but
because there is
more. My wife and other people maintain it's a film.
The whole film is leading up to Christmas, the run up to Christmas. So there's by far more.
Which is now though, really, if you think about it. We're in the run up to Christmas now.
Yeah.
Well, technically, any time of the year is the run up to Christmas. Because you're going to, apart from the week between Christmas and New Year, when it's after Christmas, and then from New Year you start again in the run up to Christmas.
I would say that Nightmare Before Christmas is either.
I'd say it's good.
I would watch it at both.
Yeah.
Now, for me, you've got this in summing up for the Die Hard. The
Die Hard
pair would be Christmas Eve, Run DMC.
I mean, Christmas is not what first comes to mind when I think of Run DMC. It's big butt. And how they were unable to lie about it.
And that's
Sir
Mix-a-Lot.
Sir Mix-a-Lot.
Nah, I weren't.
If you'd have said Walk This Way, I'd have gone with you.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Aerosmith.
And Run DMC.
we've got the Christmas tape.
Yeah.
We've got Let It Snow.
Are any of those things intrinsic to the plot, though?
Yes, because as somebody pointed out, I don't know who said, John McClane would not have been at that place at that time had it not been the Nakatomi Christmas party.
It could have been the Nakatomi July 4th party, though.
But he wouldn't
They
have
could have
been.
been
The one
in
with
that
the Christmas
20%. They could have been in that 20%.
July 4th
of
had already
companies.
gone and he didn't turn up for that one, did it?
Missed that one, didn't he? That's why he felt guilty and brought a big bear with him.
From a more production point of yeah, he wouldn't be able to get a big fucking bear unless it was Christmas.
Those big bears are available all year.
But not with a nice red Christmassy bow. But on a more production level, the score all the way through has got bells going all the way through it to say it's a Christmas film.
It was filmed in July.
No, it was released in July.
All right,
hang on.
Slade recorded and wrote Merry Christmas Everybody in July
I'm about to say,
or
most
August.
Christmas things are done in the summer.
There you go then. Okay, so
Black Christmas was filmed in summer.
commercial argument is that movies generally released at Christmas. Die Hard, however, was released in the summer of '88, July the 15th to be precise.
But no one wants to watch it till Christmas Eve.
But the perennial seasonal favourite, Holiday Inn, in which Bing Crosby Warble's White Christmas, was released on August the 4th.
True.
So, screw your argument. So it doesn't matter when it's released.
Yeah, I can't really argue on the White Christmas point.
Scream were
because-
released at Christmas, so make it a Christmas film.
I don't think when it's released
I think
particularly
That's
matters.
what I'm trying to argue.
Yeah, well, I think you can release a film any time of the year you want, but if you want it to be a horror film, you release it around Halloween.
So does that mean you can't watch horror films any other time of the year?
Oh,
By
fuck
that,
them.
by that
I'm not
logic.
against watching it any other time of year, though.
But you said if you wanted it to be a horror film.
No, but I'm talking about in the release calendar. If we're talking about the release calendar, if you want it to cash in on the Christmas pot of money, surely releasing it in the run up to Christmas and it being the #1 Christmas film.
Yeah, from a marketing point of view, yeah, that makes more sense.
And that's what I was on about. You know.
Yeah, most
But
people
also,
Yeah,
but
I mean,
also,
let's
but
face it. You look at that. You look at the Die Hard poster, and you won't go, "Ha Christmas."
it's got red. Die Hard's in red. Christmassy red.
Jesus, now you're scraping. And I'm on your side.
And if you buy the special edition from HMV, it's usually got a Christmas board around it as
I
well.
just think me as a if I was this age in '88, as opposed to not born yet.
Some of us were, weren't they?
Yeah, it's past our bedtime, come on.
And it was because I don't think it was ever marketed as a Christmas film.
it probably wouldn't be being released in July.
Exactly. So I wouldn't then choose to go and watch it and think, hey, I'm looking forward to Christmas, me. Come on, family. Well, wife, not family. Come on, wife. There's this fantastic Christmas film on. Let's go and watch Die Hard. Whereas if it were released at Christmas and people and the marketing matched that, then I think I would possibly feel more inclined to agree with you on the argument. Because it's marketed and released as a Christmas film. It never was.
By that same token, Scream were released in January this year.
But they didn't market it as a Christmas film. They marketed it as a horror film.
Yeah, but it weren't near October.
The original Scream.
The original
Was
Scream
released on Boxing Day.
It was, yeah.
To be fair, Christmas films now are marketed and released around Christmas, or in the run-up to. Horror films are released all year round.
So you've just shut down your other argument that you made earlier.
Well, yeah. But I think, again, though, if you, from a marketing point of view, it makes sense to do it, but it's not pigeonholed to.
No.
Whereas Christmas films kind of are. No one's going to go and say Christmas Vacation, great film, fantastic film, was released in February and marketed and released as a Christmas film. People will be like, well, we've just done that.
When was that released, by the way? Go on, John.
Christmas.
Well, I'm putting it's got to be Christmas. 1980. Hold on. 80. I think that might have been 88. Or 88, 89.
I think 87. I don't know why.
89.
Yeah, I was born.
We will try and pronounce the director's name.
Right, mate.
It was released on
It's
December
really-
the 1st in the
It's
USA.
got a Czechoslovakian name or something like that, really. It's
Jeremiah S. Chechik.
yeah, I know what I am.
But to be fair, when the film was released, it was.
It was Czechoslovakia, yeah.
However, here's one for you.
However,
When was Die Hard 2 released? Not the year, what month?
December.
Because it was 1990, Die Hard 2. Was that released as a Christmas film?
give you an idea on like the mindset of the production team as well and how.
Die Hard 2 was released on July the 2nd, 1990.
Well, there you go.
Shut my back door. Well, I say we've resolved nothing.
I never expected
The argument will rage on. However, I think we can all see each other's points of view.
We can all see that Jake's wrong.
No. I think to be fair, I think he's raised some good points.
Johnson should go away and do some thinking.
Need to reassess it.
Just to chuck in one more.
Oh, is this your grenade that you'd got?
No, my grenade was going to be Lethal Weapon, but I
right.
chucked it in earlier. Iron Man 3, would we consider that a Christmas film? Because that is not one that I watch every December. And yet, written
by Shane Black. Shane Black seems to set everything
set at Christmas.
Except Predator.
Predator wasn't a Christmas. Well, we don't know, but we doubt it.
That was 87. I remember.
And it's not something that I automatically go and pick up off the shelf
at Christmas
for a Christmas film.
Well, it's mainly because I also feel like this set in Miami, it doesn't look like Christmas.
But when I don't know where he lands, but it's
Die Hard set in fucking California, in LA.
Does he?
Yeah, but they say let it snow, and it does.
No. That is one question. I was having this conversation the other day. It doesn't snow.
They make it look like it snows because all the bonds come out, so it's to make it look like it snows.
But I said, does it snow?
No,
it
doesn't.
doesn't.
Much more of an argument in favour of the action element than anything else.
It's ironic snow. That's what it is.
Well, we can all agree, Die Hard 2 is definitely Christmas film. Last line in the film, it's Christmas! And he chucks the parking ticket away.
I don't watch Die Hard 2 anyway, near as much as I watch
I watch them both.
You know, I always used to, my Die Hards used to go in one, a bit like Back to the Future, really. Used to go 1, 3, 2. But I've got a lot more appreciation over the last few years for Die Hard 2. I do. I mean, the first 3, fantastic. That fourth one.
Oh no, I'll take that.
I like fourth one.
I like the fourth one. It goes 1, 3, 4, 2, 5.
Five's like
a long way away.
Five's like Indiana Jones 4. It doesn't exist.
I like Timothy Oliphant.
The fourth one. Yeah, I do like Die Hard 4, but for me, them first 3 you cannot beat the quality.
First 2 are great Christmas films.
More to the point, is National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation a Christmas film?
Yes, it is. one of only two that I watch religiously every year.
Oh, that
And I
definitely.
watched
What's
loads
the
of
one?
those.
Jingle All the Way.
What about Scrooged?
I always watch Scrooge.
See, I've only watched that for the first time recently when you suggested watching it. And
You didn't watch it off the TV, did you?
no, it
No,
was
it's all best bits are cut
Yeah,
out.
they cut a lot
Yeah,
for
they
TV.
cut a
don't
hell
they?
of
Our
a lot.
friend who isn't here tonight, absolutely not here, downloaded it for us.
Ah, you've got to watch the unrated version.
Yeah.
To be fair, we watch more Christmas special TV things rather than films.
I always watch Bottom Christmas Special. Always.
We always watch the Vicar Dibley one, the Father Ted ones.
Father Ted one always gets one.
Devil of Christmas.
Devil of Christmas is now on.
Yeah,
The League of Gentlemen Christmas special.
Yeah,
Every
Christmas
every year.
Oh, mate.
And you ever seen the League of Gentlemen Panto?
I've got them all,
I'm about
mate.
to say,
I've got them all.
League of Gentlemen Panto.
I've got them all on VHS. I've got them all on DVD.
League of Gentlemen Panto is fucking glorious.
Oh,
League of
League
Gentlemen.
Gentleman Christmas special.
Yeah.
I could do a podcast on that alone.
Well, there's a maybe for next Christmas. We should sit down and make Rob watch it.
It's nice to finish the podcast, rather the episode, on talking about all the things that are Christmas. So on that note,
Well, the whole thing's been about Christmas.
Goddamn Christmas, as Mr. Joshua would say.
all right then. We'll be going around in circles if we carry on. We'll be here next Christmas. So we've been Cabin Night. You've been great. We've been great. You've been great. John's been better. And good night.
That'll do.